is Eric Welander and welcome back to my channel all about apps and gear in the Apple ecosystem. Today we're going to talk about the Canon SL2, or also known as the 200D in some parts of the world. Let's say you're thinking about getting a camera or upgrading your current camera setup. You want to take better pictures or video than just a smartphone does. Maybe it's for Instagram, maybe it's just for family memories, maybe it's to start a YouTube channel. So I previously reviewed the Canon G7X II, and that is a fantastic small compact camera for doing sort of on-the-go vlogging footage with the front-facing screen and getting pictures in a lot of cases where it's easy to carry a tiny little point and shoot with you in a small bag or an extra pocket. Now the SL2 is at about the same price, in fact sometimes maybe even a little cheaper than the G7X II, but you're starting to step up into the SLR game. SLR meaning single lens reflex cameras. These are bigger cameras, they have interchangeable lenses. You still get the flip out screen, you still get Canon's great Digic 7 image processor with great color science. You still get really great autofocus. One of the key advantages over the G7X II and some of those smaller cameras is that you get an external microphone jack. One of the things that really interested me about this camera is that syncing my audio in post, recording audio on a separate like lapel mic or something, was a real pain. Anything you see of me talking right here is the SL2 with an external microphone. And this is what it sounds like using the built-in mic in the camera. The Canon SL2 also has a mode that it starts in beginner mode, so it'll teach you a lot about how to operate an SLR and how to use that to get better pictures out of the box. One of the other advantages of the SL2 or 200D compared to a G7X II or a point and shoot camera is that you have the interchangeable lenses, and Canon has some exceptional lenses. Invest in a lens. Lenses tend to hold their value a lot better over time than the cameras, so you could really upgrade your image with a nice lens and then later upgrade your camera. You're also, for about the same price as a G7X II, getting a camera that is a lot closer to something like a Canon 80D in terms of the specs and the sensors and everything that it has. The 80D is Canon's $1,000 camera. This is more around the $500–600 range. So enough about the positives. What are some of the major downsides of something like the Canon SL2? One of the first ones is that this is an SLR. It's not a mirrorless camera. And one of the huge advantages of some of the cameras like from Sony that are mirrorless is that when you adjust some of the camera settings, when you're looking through either the viewfinder when you have the camera up to your face or you're just looking in the back of the camera, you can instantly see what those settings have as an effect on your image. So you can see what kind of an image you're going to get as you raise or lower your aperture, or as you raise or lower your ISO, or change your shutter speed. This can be really great just to not have to take extra shots in a room just to make sure you're getting all your settings right. You can do that on the SL2, but you can only do that through live view. The viewfinder up to your face is looking through a mirror out the lens, so it's not going to show you any of those settings changes that you've made to the camera. Whereas on a mirrorless, you're looking at a tiny little electronic display when you look through that, so it's very easy to see all of those changes, and even when you're in a very bright light setting outside. Another downside of this camera is the lack of 4K video. Canon across their entire line hasn't done a lot to support 4K video, and it doesn't seem like that's going to drastically change overnight either. 4K is becoming more and more popular, not only as a way to publish videos, say on YouTube, but it's just more pixels and more data and more flexibility you have to work with outside of the camera. Another great thing about this camera and SLRs in general compared to mirrorless is that they have amazing battery life. I can shoot forever with video or photos with the existing batteries in the SL2. I ended up having two batteries just so I could charge one and then be using the other, but that's not even essential with this. The battery life is just so amazing. So the SL2 SL2 doesn't offer sensor stabilization for images. It doesn't stabilize the sensor inside of the camera, but the kit lens that comes with the SL2 does have image stabilization, so that will help a little bit in keeping your handheld shots stable. If you remember, the G7X II does have that stabilization in camera. So why would you want to get a small compact point and shoot like the G7X II? Why would you want to get something like the SL2? And why am I leaving those and moving over to a Sony camera? Well, I think if you're looking to do sort of an on-the-go vlogging style footage, or you just want a camera that you can really take with you basically anywhere, something smaller like the G7X II or the Sony RX100 series are really going to benefit that kind of use case. And the one thing you're sacrificing there is there's no external microphone jack, so you can't hook up external mics, but a lot of times for those kind of casual scenarios, it doesn't really matter. The built-in mics are plenty good enough. If you want to though sit down in more of a studio setting for like a YouTube video where you're doing this kind of talking head stuff with an extra microphone and you're not going to be moving the camera as much, something like an SL2 is really good, and it gives you the option. It's not that huge, so it gives you the option to carry it around and even vlog with it, almost like a Casey Neistat kind of a style. So should you go with Canon or Sony? If you're looking in this price point, I think nobody beats Canon. Some of the quality you get out of these cameras is exceptional. But if you're looking to spend more money and you're looking to bet on a platform that seems to have more future thinking tech, future forward tech, personally, I think Sony is a better bet. They just seem to be coming out with cameras that are just amazing performance and amazing value, particularly when you start to get into price points that are even just a little bit higher than this $500 to $600 entry-level price point that Canon does such a great job at. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, found it interesting, hit that thumbs up button. I'd love to hear down below, do you prefer Canon, Sony, maybe Olympus or Fuji or Nikon? Why did you pick those? That would be a great discussion to have down in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next one.